This is the power pack and transmission for the M41 Walker Bulldog. The engine is a Continental AOS 895. There's two models. There was the carburettor version and the fuel injected model. Both were about the same horsepower output, about 500 horsepower. The fuel injected model a little bit more economical. So I'll do a little bit of a walk around. As you can see, it's a fairly boxy engine. Continental predominantly made aircraft engines, which tends to show a bit in this one. It's a flat six, air cooled, fuel injected model with about 500 horsepower. So you can see on this side, it's got the cooling fan at the top, and on the sides, this side is the engine oil cooler, and then we have the same on the other side for the transmission oil cooler. Down the bottom you see three banks on either side. Each cylinder has two spark plugs per cylinder. They can either run both spark plugs or one at a time. I'll just move around. So that's the engine itself. It's the exhaust outlet, again one either side, and fitted with the transmission on the back. It's automatic, 4-speed automatic, low range, high range, reverse. You can see I've got the oil filter out the back here. We've just put some oil in it yesterday. Hopefully we can start it up today. So you can see the transmission to the GM. We have our outputs on the side here, which go to the final drives. And coming around, you can see the transmission oil cooler on this side, and again plumbed into the transmission. Again, we have our three banks on this side, two spark plugs each. And round on the front of the engine, we have our two magnetos up top here. That's to run each bank of spark plugs. So we have one magneto runs one bank of spark plugs per cylinder. So you can either have both sparks going or just the one. You can see we've got our makeshift wiring loom here to get everything running. Down here we have our high pressure injection pump. So that had to be had a wire running to that, plus the box here running to the magnetos. We have our fuel filter. Moving around down the bottom, we have our three lift pumps. We have three fuel pumps down the bottom here. And coming up to the manifold, the throttle body, and we can see our supercharger in a rotary format on the front. So that's our supercharger there. Coming around to the main throttle linkage, and down the bottom, that's our starter motor this side. You can see we've got that temporarily wired up, and then opposite the starter motor down the bottom here we have our generator. So although it looks like a fairly complex engine, it's fairly straightforward. We'll just come around this side. You can see a temporary workstation set up here. Let's get it running today, hopefully. So you can see the switch for our fuel pumps, the switch to the injector pump. Then we have our two magnetos, and the boost, that just runs both magnetos together. So that's the input into the starter motor. We just have a lead onto there. And really, that is all there is to this engine. And see the spark plug rack down the bottom here, which runs to all our spark plug leads, and they're just standard spark plugs. So that's the Continental M41 Walker Bulldog engine, the AOS 895, and as I said, there was two versions, the carburettor model and the fuel injected model. The only difference being is on the throttle body here we'd have a carburettor either side. So stay tuned and hopefully we'll see a bit of noise coming out of this today.